was always told with a schedule, you can start late, but you can't start early. Because somebody might be getting here at that exact time. So, have a seat, fellas. We're just getting ready to start. Okay, we are the Great Lakes Timber Show. We're based out of Escanaba, Michigan, the UP, eh? I know my southern drawl doesn't do that A justice, but we're going to try real hard for you. How many people have seen our show before? Thanks for coming back. How many have never seen our show before? Thanks for taking a chance, fellas. All right. Just getting started, folks. Got plenty of time. My name is Zach Eisen. I go by Lumber Zach. I'm not a lumberjack. I'm a lumber Zach. That way, if things don't go right, you can't say the lumberjacks didn't do it right. 1985, Bruce started this show. Mr. Bruce Belanger, he's the owner. Bruce and myself both got our start from the late great Hank Peters Lumberjack Show. That show was in existence for 65 years. Bruce went out on his own in 85, and later on got a hold of me and asked me to come aboard, and I've been helping him out since. In our travels, we've been on WGN, Fox and Friends, ESPN. A few years ago, Bruce and I were in Pikeville, Kentucky, home of the Hillbilly Days. There, MTV approached us about filming our show. We said, sure. They filmed it, and then afterwards told us we both had a face for radio. For the next half hour or so, we want y'all to sit back, relax, and enjoy. And if you see us doing something you really like, you are allowed to throw your hands together. We're going to show you what went on the days of yesteryear in the old woods and what goes on in the modern woods today. I can't do this by myself, and I don't think I told you where I'm from. Most of you know I'm from Batavia, Ohio, so this is a local one for me, which I enjoy. I get to go home every evening, not a motel. So, without anything further said, I've got somebody help me. She's all the way from Muleshoe, Alaska. Let's hear it for Jessie Peters. She's going to be doing some sawing and log rolling. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get started. And I'm going to take that chainsaw and do a carving for you. Here we go.
Go ahead and notice that Zach's wearing all of his protective gear. He has ear protection, eye protection, and his chaps on. So there's over 40,000 injuries due to chainsaws in the U.S. So Zach, what is it?
How about some early American furniture, little chairs carved by a chainsaw. Ah, the excitement almost unbearable. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to tell you a little bit about these chairs, and we're going to pass them out as souvenirs to the Great Lakes Timber Show. Well, like I said, back in 1985, Bruce started the Great Lakes Timber Show. The first show he got was the Oklahoma State Fair. At the time, that was a 17-day fair. 2 days into the show, carving these and giving them out as souvenirs to the kids, a lady in particular came up and said, Bruce, I didn't get a chair, and I'm mad at you. I want to buy a chair. He said, no, lady, I'll give you a chair. So he gave it to her, but he took the idea. He figured, sell these for $1 a piece after the show. Kids would have a souvenir to remember the show by. He might make a couple $100 in expense money. Well, at the end of that 17 days, he thought, maybe if I had a couple $100, that'd be pretty good. Well, at the end of 17 days, he had $1,850 in his pocket. He'll tell you, he hates those chairs. Easy for you to say. No, actually, he likes them because we get to pass them out as souvenirs. So that's what we're going to do. Anybody celebrating a birthday here today? Got a birthday over there? All right. How old are you? Huh?
17.
17. Let's hear it for the 17-year-old. All right. Any adults celebrating a birthday? Anniversary? Recent divorce? Easy, Junior. Okay, Jesse, just pick some out, pass them out as souvenirs of the Great Lakes Timber Show. How's that? Okay, kind of spread them out a little bit. There we go. All right, all right. Now, if there's somebody out there emotionally distraught, possibly scarred for life, the fact you did not get one of those chairs, come see me personally after the show. I'll let you fill your pockets up all the chips and sawdust you can carry. All kidding aside, I do have a few carved. At the end of the show, I sell for the same price, $19.85, $1. But I am running a antique machinery show special. Who wants to hear about the special? Okay, here's the special. I'll sell you 2 chairs for $5.
Yeah, $1 piece.
Well, anyway, guys, if we get one laugh from it, we'll use it again. I do have it, like I said, I got a few afterwards. You can stop by if you want. But anyway, who'd like to see some axe throwing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we throw double bit cruisers axes. They have to weigh at least 2.5 pounds. They have to have a handle of at least 24 inches in length. They can be heavier, they can be longer, okay? We throw from a tow line to a target that's 20 feet distance. The bullseye is 60 inches off the ground. And the scoring goes as such. You hit any part of that bullseye, you're awarded 5 points. Then 4, 3, and 2. In actual competition, there'd be a white circle, and that would be a 1. In actual competition, a judge would stand here and watch your feet to make sure you don't step over the line. In an actual competition, the judge would say, does it count or is it practice? Well, if you say practice and throw a bullseye, too bad, so sad, it don't count. So our boss, Mr. Bruce Belanger, did not like those rules. He developed what's known as the optional throw. We throw it, if we like it, we keep it. If not, we have the option of throwing again. And my, how our scores have gone up. So, normally we have 2 people throwing. I'm the only one throwing today. And normally we'd divide the crowd in half and have cheering sections. But today, since we live in the greatest country in the world, you all get to cheer for yours truly. What do you think about that? Yeah. All right. Now, while I'm talking about the greatest country in the world, I'm also going to say this. This is the most serious part of our show, because I take my hat off and I ask, do we have any active or retired military personnel, police, firefighter, EMT, first responders, Homeland Security, truck drivers, teachers, nurses, or farmers in the crowd? Raise your hands. Come on, get them up here. Get them up here. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. We live in a free country. Their service to this country is what's kept it free, keeping it free. I thank you, I thank you, and I thank you. It only took a pandemic for us to realize the American trucker is so important. And if you ever badmouth a farmer with your mouth full, you need to be talked to. And if you enjoy your freedom, thank a vet. I mean that. Last public service announcement I'm going to make. I love to hear cheering, but remember, it's not wise to boo a man with an axe in his hand. Okay, who wants to see a bullseye?
Yeah.
So do I.
You can do it.
Who's going to win?
You're going to win.
Got 40.
Right now I'm at 8 out of a possible 10. That was a 3, but that's also my optional throw, so I'm going to try to put one in there this time. That last one was a bullseye. All you got to do is nick it out of the color. It gives me a 13 out of 15. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It was light years better than this morning. This morning wasn't good.
Who won?
Was not good. Okay, moving right along. We also like to do a little teaching, and this is part of the show I enjoy. A lot of you might think I worked in the woods. No, there's a couple people in the crowd that know what I did. I'm a retired school teacher, and I enjoy this part. Thank you. Back in the day, the lumberjacks, they had simple tools to use. They had their wit, they had their brawn. They didn't have super highways. They didn't have semi-trucks. So what they used for the highway, they used the water. For the trucks, they used the water. They also used mules and oxen to skid them down on Skid Row, down to the low spot. They had simple tools to use. I'm going to tell you about a few of them right now. I always like to start out with this saw right here. If you've been here before, don't spoil it for somebody else. Anybody know what kind of saw this is? This is an antique ice saw. This saw was used to cut ice out in block form out of lakes and rivers. They take it by wagon to a cave or a cavern or a well-insulated ice house. Those blocks were then used in the summer months for refrigeration purposes. Now, kids, young lady right there, if you want a cold glass of milk to go with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, what are you going to get the milk out of?
A cow.
That's the first time I've heard that answer, a cow. The big rectangular thing in the kitchen, known as the what? I almost said it. You know, you open the door and you look in, mom and dad are telling you not to hold the door open too long. In the kitchen, you might get the milk out of it. What would that be called?
A fridge.
A refrigerator. There you go. Okay. People my age and older, the forerunner to the refrigerator is known as the
Ice
box. Right. So that's one of those blocks of ice they were put in that cabinet. It was well insulated to keep things cool. Okay, I've got some different axes here. I'm going to tell you about one of them right now. This is the old-fashioned double bit axe. I'm going to throw a little challenge out. How many people have got an old double bit axe at home? Come on, somebody's got one in the garage, the barn, somewhere. Think about it. Okay, here's the challenge. Go home and check it out. I'll bet you it's a little bit lopsided, and I'm going to tell you why. This side right here, it's the biggest side. That side was used to cut the tree down, take the limbs off, maybe even peel it, okay? The other side, the shorter side, that one was used for the roots, for the stump. Now, I don't know what part of the county you're from, but you get down that dirt, there's probably some rocks in there. Even hitting dirt's going to dull an axe quicker. So therefore, the short side got dull more often and sharpened more often, and that's what caused it to be a lopsided double bit axe. So there you go. Go home and check it out. I'll bet you it's a little lopsided. Okay, the next thing we got to talk about here is the old-fashioned pike pole. The pike pole was very important to the lumberjack, especially on the river drive, because this item right here might look pretty simple, but actually for the time it had more technology than the rest of these tools. The pike pole, lumberjack would use to steady himself out on the water. You know, he might have to break up a log jam, but if he fell in, it could be his death. So, to steady himself, he jabs it in the log. Remember, if it slips, it could be his death. Here's the technology. It will not come out. But with a simple twist, it comes right out. The technology was done for the lumberjack in the lumber camp at the blacksmith shop, and it's called a knurl, a simple twist on the end of that spear, and that was technology that could save a lumberjack's life. Okay, that's a little of our past, a little heritage about lumberjacks, and I want to tell you something else. If you'd like to know more, there's always the public library, local historical society, or even that newfangled thing called the computer. So, with that being said, we're going to bring out the old-fashioned crosscut saw, sometimes known as the misery whip. Jesse's bringing it out right now. This is a peg and raker. It's got 2 pegs that do the cutting, and a raker that rakes the chips out. The chips that come out on a saw like this look like real fine ribbons, okay? This saw right here is about a $1,000 saw, which is a bargain basement saw. Saws like this, if we use the World Championship, $3,500 to $7,500. Folks, that's a saw without a motor costing that much. Okay, so we got a fella here that's going to help us out. Already, Justin, come on out. Justin's going to give us a hand here. He's going to pull this cross cut with Jesse. Let's hear it for him. He's volunteering. Yay. All right. Now you're going to stand sideways. Put your, are you right-handed or left-handed? Okay. You're going to have your right hand on top and your left hand on the bottom. Okay, now you're going to turn yourself sideways. Yeah, like that. Turn your body a little more sideways. There you go. Now take your left foot and put back a little ways. There you go. And you're going to slightly pull down as you pull back. Okay, pull it towards you. There you go. Just like that. Whoa. Keep it level. Keep it level. Now they've got that sunk in there really good. Hold up. I can see he's done this before. And she's got a ringer lined up. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm still not happy with that axe throwing because I didn't get a perfect score for you. But I'm going to tell you what. You people do not want to sit through a boring, mundane demonstration, do you? It's called crowd participation. No, we don't want to sit through one. Come on, let's hear it. No. You people want competition, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So what I'm going to do for you good people, I'm going to get my one-man saw and take these 2 on for you good people. Who wants to see that?
Yeah.
What's the problem? What's the problem? You don't have a problem? Huh? What am I going to use? My one-man saw. And here it is, right here. There it is, right there. You just got out here. My one-man saw. It could be a 2-man if you want to hold the other end. You don't want to do that. Okay, before I start this chainsaw, and I got to get my safety equipment on, I got to ask, who's rooting for the crosscut team right over here?
Yeah.
Who's got their smart money, meaning that steel chainsaw? How many of you people do not know where you are or where you came from? Funnel cakes are that way. Let me get my chaps on.
As you notice, he's putting on his chaps. So when you use a chainsaw, this is a very important piece of safety protection. That way you do not cut your leg. So in the U.S., there's 40,000 injuries each year due to chainsaws.
I did that one.
And we're not going to make it 40,001.
There you go.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to yell 1, 2, 3, and you're going to yell go. Let's try it one time. 1, 2, 3.
Go!
You guys are quick now. I'll give you that. Good job. Okay, we're going to have a race. Here we go.
You put the chain on backwards?
Boy, oh boy. Wow. Somebody had a comment out there?
Did you put the chain on backwards?
Easy, buddy. It's our show. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not real happy about that because, you know, how many people have got chores to do around home? Yeah, yeah. If you don't have chores, you need some. This young lady had a chore of sharpening that saw before the show, and I know she did not do it. There's no way, because all mathematical calculations, the modern day chainsaw should beat the crosscut saw. Did you sharpen that saw?
I used the hammer.
You used a hammer?
I did bang up
A
job.
bang up job? Oh, the jokes are worse than the sharpening. I'll tell you what, I want a rematch. I've got my own saw tucked away back there that Miss Hammerhead has not touched. Would you guys grant me a rematch?
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad you agree. It's part of the show. It's going to happen anyway. Okay, let me get that. You guys get your tea set.
Oh, here it is. Hey, Jesse,
Yeah, Zach.
you know what kind of saw I got?
I don't know what kind of saw you got. What kind is it?
It's Australian.
It's an Australian saw?
Yeah.
Why do you call it that?
Because I keep it out back.
Because you keep it out back.
It's a dog.
They got more than one of them, don't they? They got more than one of them.
If we get one laugh out of it, we'll use it again. Look at that bar and chain. It's ready to go. I mean, same exact saw. Same exact saw.
It looks a little different. Did you paint it?
So you're telling me you noticed this? Oh boy. Well, the cat's out of the bag. Ladies and gentlemen, we're from Southwest Ohio, aren't we? It's the Southwestern Ohio turkey call. This thing's so good at pulling them Hoosier turkeys out of Indiana.
But does it work?
Does it work? I got you two out here with it. Okay, folks, this thing's loud. You want to cover your ears up. If you got little ones that can't cover their own ears, you want to do it for them. So, again, we're rather close proximity, so you want to cover your ears. Here we go. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 again, have a race.
Sounds like my.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for our sawyers? They worked really hard for you. Jess is going to put that saw away. And Justin, thanks for being a big help here. This is for you. That's a beaver biscuit. You want that one instead? Okay, that's a beaver biscuit. It's high in fiber. It tastes absolutely terrible. Let me hear it, folks. Give them a round of applause. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. What? I was going to say, buddy, this is our show. I was just checking. Oh, boy, oh boy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fully customized racing saw. You can't get this to Kmart, to Walmart, Lowe's, or even Menards. It's got a fully customized race chain, race bar, extra strong handle. This saw has been bored out, stroked out, a few other outs I can't begin to tell you about. The turkey call attachment is actually an expansion chamber that works like a supercharger to give it a whole lot more horsepower. This saw runs on high octane gasoline, about 108, with an alcohol mix. But sir, in the front row, right there, arms folded, the white shirt, yes sir, you. Did you notice it didn't start on the first pull? He's got a keen eye, folks, I'm telling you, a keen eye, and I'm gonna tell you why. This saw, 108 gas, also have the alcohol mix. Well, this is an alcohol-free zone, so I had to put O'Doul's in the tank instead. Ladies and gentlemen, the hot saw, thank you very much. The big question is, who wants to see somebody get wet?
Yeah.
We need a volunteer. You want to try it, young lady? Huh? Well, you got to have somebody with you who says you can. Okay, well, I guess we don't have another volunteer this time. So that means Jesse's going to show you some log burling. Now, back in the day, the lumberjacks, as I said before, they would cut timber all winter long, kick it in the river, and they would have a river drive. Guys would be out on the logs floating around breaking up log jams that would occur. Well, one day 2 lumberjacks came back to camp bragging on all they had done, and the next thing you know, they're ready to fight. Well, the boss said, you fight in camp, you're fired. So to settle their differences, they took a log like this out to a slope pool in the river. The river was open domain, anybody could use it, and they'd settle their differences with burling matches. They created a few simple rules which are still in the books today. They are, you cannot cross center line, you cannot touch your opponent. You can say naughty things about the opponent's dog, you just couldn't use naughty words. You can bounce up and down, change directions. You can bob, you can weave. You can splice it. And still on the books today, you cannot spit tobacco juice in the other person's eyes. It's a good thing she's not going against anybody because she's quite the closet chewer. So, that being said, we got only one log roller here today, and that's our lumber Jill. And so Jesse's going to show you a little log burling right now. That's an 18-inch Western red cedar, very buoyant. Whoa! You weren't ready. Well, at least she didn't say she slipped on a wet spot.
I was distracted.
You were distracted, huh? Okay. Who wants to see her try it again?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That carpeting's on there because she hasn't had any cleats, just regular gym shoes. There she goes, watching that log. Whoa! That's a quick one again. I will tell you this, log burling in a tank versus a lake or a river is twice as hard because the waves go out and hit the walls and then they come back. So it creates a little more whitewater effect. Where'd we get the water? Well, the great fire department of Habersville brought it. Why? Boy, they better check their hydrants. Wow. Okay, Jesse, let's give it one more spin and see what you can do up there.
That's why I got a water softener.
She's watching the other end, change directions. Look at that, doing real well. Whoa! Wow. Well, she got the one part down perfect. That's called the dismount. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Jesse and myself, Lumberjack, we are the Great Lakes Timber Show. Thank you for coming and spending time with us. We'll be back at 4 o'clock. If you like us, tell people about it. Come back and see us. If you're interested in a souvenir chair, I have a few available. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.